Good afternoon, Martree. It's Matt Wright, Superintendent of Martree School District, bringing this week's Monday update. And it's Monday, and it's not even 3:30 yet, and so I am on a roll. Not only that, but the message today is actually kind of short, so you don't have to listen to me ramble on. So I guess it's a good thing for all of us. Just a few updates today. Today is the deadline for our online learning application. Now, if you can't get by either the district office or either building, you can still fill out or access the link on our Facebook page and our school webpage, and you'll be able to do that throughout the evening. Over the next 48 hours, what we'll do is we will be emailing everybody who has turned in a form, whether that is through email, whether that was through the Google Docs, whether that was through the application that we sent to you via mail and you've responded or sent that back. We will be responding or sending you an email letting you know that we received your papers, that we're processing those, and we're preparing to register those students. So what are the next steps for our online learning students? Well, once we get all the applications, we're going to start working on the registration process and some of the other required components. Now, as school draws near, we will schedule a time for you to bring your student by and pick up the device that we're going to allow them to use if they need one. Now, even if they don't need one, we still might need you to come by and work on a tutorial so that we can show you how to access the online learning system. So those are our next steps. Now, that's not something that's going to happen this week. That's not something that's going to happen next week. I would say that we're shooting for either the week before school or maybe even 2 weeks before school on the device pickup. But we will let you know as we get closer to time. I know that a lot of you are struggling with the decision to either do online learning or the face-to-face learning. I had somebody ask me today, how certain are you that you can keep our kids safe? That's a tough question to answer. Just remember that when we shut school down in March, we had 9 cases in the state. All of those were in the Little Rock area. We haven't had to keep students safe from COVID. So far, that's been your responsibility as a parent, excuse me. And so I will say this. I like our plans. I feel good about what we've done, but I can tell you that it's probably not perfect. And as with any plan, it can have great intentions, but it has to have the involvement and the cooperation of everybody. And so we can have the best plans in the world, but that means that our partners have to be willing to do their part. And so what does that look like? Start talking to your kids about wearing masks. Start talking to your kids about the importance of washing their hands every opportunity that they get, especially after they use the restroom. Talk to your kids about the proper way to use Germ-X. Talk to your kids about social distancing, all the different preventative measures that, whether it's the CDC or some other government entity, all the different safety measures that they're putting in place or suggesting that we put in place. Talk to your kids about those. Now, folks, you can tell me all day long, kids may not understand that, but they do. I've got a stubborn 5-year-old. And stubborn is putting it nicely, but she understands or is beginning to understand social distancing. She is beginning to understand the importance of wearing masks. We've been putting a mask on her here and there, not for prolonged periods of time, because we don't think they're going to have to wear them for prolonged periods of time. But everything that we can do ahead of time to prepare her, or anything that you can do ahead of time to prepare your student for the beginning of school, will give us that much better of a chance on fighting COVID. And I'll say, it's going to take every one of us. It doesn't matter if we have the best plans or not, but if you send a student to school and they have a fever, then you know that you're risking the chances of sending a student who might have COVID to school. And that impacts everybody. And so, like I said, if we all aren't doing our parts and we all aren't working together, then this won't be our plans won't be good. So it's going to take all of us. And I would encourage you to begin having those conversations and making those preparations with your student now. So the second thing I want to talk about today is open house. Just a couple of things about open house. Now, that's always been a big event for us. lot of friends, or excuse me, a lot of families coming in, and we get to see the kids, and we haven't seen them all summer. It's something that we look forward to every year. This year, we're going to have to do it virtually. I'm, I hate that we can't have that face-to-face interaction. Um, it's been a long summer, and I'm ready to see some kids, but it's just open house isn't where we need that to. Isn't where we need to do that at. And so what we'll do is, prior to the beginning of the school year, we're going to have teachers film videos of their classrooms so that kids can see what their classroom looks like. They'll be able to hear their teacher's voice, see their face, and kind of become familiar with them. And we'll post those on our school webpage under the teacher pages. Now, we're going to have a tutorial on that, so you'll know exactly where to go. You'll know exactly where to go for these videos, and that will be coming next week. So make sure you tune in to catch that. But that creates a problem. So some of the elementary parents are probably thinking, well, we didn't find out what room our students would be in until we went to open house. We've got that covered too. You will receive a letter from your child's teacher a couple of weeks before school starts, letting them know which room that they're going to be in. This letter is also just a way of creating a little bit of a personal touch. Kids love to get mail, and so it'll be an opportunity for them to get a letter from their teacher, and you and your child can spend some time reviewing that, reading it to them. They'll be excited just to see something from a teacher. So this small personal touch will help us be able to build those relationships that we know that we're going to need to create a good school environment for your students next year. That letter serves a number of purposes. Obviously, it is that foundational building block for the relationship that we hope to form between the teacher and the child or the home. But also, we think it's imperative that we restrict the number of face-to-face interactions that our teachers have before school. I told you a couple weeks ago that one of the most important things that we can do is begin school fully staffed. And if we are bringing a lot of people into our buildings, then we're running the risk of not only getting teachers sick, but maybe even other parents and other students. And so it's a little bit of community responsibility, but it's also a little bit of preventative measure to make sure that we're taking care of our teachers and our students before school starts. Now, in terms of these letters that we're going to be sending out, folks, I cannot stress this enough. You can help us greatly. If you have moved in the past year, or you have changed your phone number in the past year, call us and let us know. Let us update our files so that if there's an emergency situation or we need to contact you through, whether it be through mail, whether it be through a phone call or a text, we need that accurate information. I can remember being a principal and sending out report cards. We might not, we might get 25% of our report cards back, and that's just because we didn't have accurate addresses. Please, if you have changed your address or you have changed your phone number, call the elementary school or call the high school and let them check your student records, just so we can make sure that we have the most accurate information that we possibly can. So I told you this week was going to be short. The coming weeks are going to start being a little bit longer. As we start getting closer to school, especially about 3 weeks out, these will be just packed full of information that you're going to need. And so would encourage you to make sure that you turn in next week as we have the tutorial on how to access teacher pages or their open house videos that we're going to post right before school starts. And I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.